Oh, that's a snapper. That's a good snapper. Big snapper on. This rod's just been getting little tack, tack, tack. Like nothing, like a little flathead bite. The next thing, it's just absolutely howled off. Have a listen to that. That's a fish. This is a real fish, this one. 100% snapper. Typical snapper, take a run, stop, whack, whack, whack with its head, then go again. Now it's just cruising up through the current. Using its flank at the moment, it's just a lot of weight now. That's the fish got its head down. Now turning sideways into the current, like a trevally does. That's sort of re-energizing him a bit. He's getting some water through his gills. He'll go again shortly. There he goes. He's just getting those head whack, whack, whack. There you go, a bit more of a run. This is important when a fish is doing that, just let it do its thing. Just keep the tension on. So you're always keeping that hook in. Don't be in a hurry to rip it in fast or anything. This is a good fish. So what do we got? 7 AM. So I've been here an hour. Very small tide today, so the tide's just started to get some flow. And I've got another rod just getting hit as well. Hopefully this is going to turn into being a good session. Yeah, rod 2. You might see this one here, that's going to go as well. Oh, that's on as well. So I've got 2 rods on here at the moment. This one may have picked it up. I don't think it's got it, but it might have. When I picked that up, that had a lot of weight on its own. So it's going to take its time and wait for me, hopefully. I don't believe this is tangled. I'm calling this for a pretty good snapper. Just the way it's biting now, you notice it's just not doing a lot, it's just a lot of weight. Just dogging it out under the boat he is. I might have actually picked up that second rod. Oh man. This is where more people will lose a big snapper at this stage of the fight by getting scared and starting to crank the drag up. I'm actually backing the drag off. At this stage of the fight, if he wants to go, we let him go. We just keep tension on. All it's doing is wearing him out. Probably just a little light. Pretty sure this was on a squid ring. Probably the most consistent bait for big snapper is a humble squid ring. It's not fresh squid, stuff I've had in the freezer. Actually been struggling to catch squid lately. Seems to be a bit tight this year. Here we go. Got shock leader. Oh, colour. Oh yes, it's a big snapper. Oh, this is a very, very big snapper. Oh, ha, ha. Come away from that trim tab. Beautifully hooked to the Gamakatsu. Yes! Actually, I did have that other rod. There's a bit of a mess here. Just clean this up. So I did have that second rod. Now I'm going to show you something here in a second. Why I wasn't fishing stupid drag. Yeah, I'm hooked in the mouth, but he's only lightly hooked that fish. If I'd had too much drag on that snapper, I would have lost that fish for sure. Bear with me, I'll just clean this up. He's hooked, but not heavily. Just having a bit of trouble getting hooked at myself, but yet I'd come out pretty easy once I got hold of it. Oh no. Alright, clear all this up, give you a look at this fish. This is a solid fish. I always like a rag on the tail. Makes it easier to lift them. Ah! Have a look at that. A beautiful Port Welsh pool snapper. Oh! Oh yeah, that's a fish. I literally haven't had a touch in probably an hour. And this is a big fish. Been sitting here for like an hour with nothing happening. Not a touch in an hour. I was actually thinking about leaving. But then I thought, you know what, there's like half an hour left in the tide. I've always told people never leave with a tide change imminent. And look what's happened. This thing has absolutely screamed off. This is a snapper. This is a big fish. Crack and run. And squid ring again. Incidentally, a squid ring that looks pretty beat up. I brought it in before and I almost didn't put it back out. But I'm running really low on bait. It just shows when the snapper switch on, they're not fussy. They will eat whatever's there. Now just swimming back to the boat. It's had its big runs. It's quite often what snapper will do. They'll do a massive big run like that. Then they will swim back. He's just turning his body onto the current at the moment. He'll swim his way back. One thing about snapper, they're pretty clean fighters. They tend to be straight line. They don't go over and pick up too many other lines. This one's in between two rods here, so I'm just trying to control him by pulling him out to the side, but as a rule, they're pretty clean fighters, snapper. If you get them over a wreck offshore up north and stuff, yeah, they'll reef you. But on this rubble areas that I'm fishing, they're pretty good. All right. Getting to the stage of the fight where he's nearly beat. Oh no, he's still got a bit in him. Got a lot of weight. It's a good fish. I don't think it's a monster. I think it's probably 6 kilos or something like that. It's a very good fish still. He's not done. I'm going to come over this side of the boat. I'm going to try and wheel him over here. I've got a rod in there very close to the boat, so I'm just crossing him over. You probably notice, once again, I say it often, I'm not on heavy drag. That hook is well set by now. As long as I keep a bend in that rod, I'm pretty safe. I could still lose the fish, obviously. It might be only pinned in the corner of the mouth. I lost a cracking big fish here last week at about this stage of the fight. Just hoping that's not a repeat today. Very important to have good drags on your reels. Keep them well serviced, well lubricated. It's a good fish. Oh, colour. Oh yeah, she's a nice snapper. She's not done yet. It's a nice colour then, had it up, saw it's a snapper. I never had any real doubt it was a snapper from the very first hit. He's just cruising in the current. Hopefully this is going to be a fish I'll release. Last fish I got was totally exhausted, couldn't release. This fish still got plenty of go in it. Let's try and get this net. Oh, it's a good fish. Yes, very, very nice snapper. Bring it in, give you a look. Look at that. Beautiful big fish. Let's see how he's going to go, see if it wants to swim. Oh yeah, this fish is going to release beautifully. Gonna hold them until they're ready to go. Bring him a good push down. Yes! Nice snapper. As I said, I've been probably an hour without a bite. And that fish is just absolutely howled off. There's a beautiful snapper, about 5.5, 6 kilos released.